So between 2021 and 2022, there were more than 200,000 reports of abuse made in Duval, Clay, St. Johns, Baker, and Nassau counties. Think about that number. That's a big number. And the statistics are alarming because of those, more than 680 children had to be removed from their homes. It was that bad, and placed into foster care for their safety. As we recognize Child Abuse Prevention Month, Jamie Miracle, Vice President of Clinical Services at Daniel, is joining us this morning. Guess, just to give us a better idea of what the issues are so that all of us as a community can wrap our arms around children who really may be too young and can't ask for help themselves. And we can all help them. Good morning. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Would you explain, because I think that people don't realize that child abuse takes different forms.
Sure.
It's not just a child that you may encounter on a regular basis who seems like they always have bruises, but there's much more involved with child abuse.
Yeah, child abuse is very tricky, especially when kids aren't giving many warning signs, and it's hard to talk about, as a child going through abuse and trauma. So there are specific warning signs and red flags that we can be aware of. Obviously, the more obvious ones are unexplained bruising, fractures, burns, but also if you see an increase in attendance at school dropping, that's a big warning sign. Another thing we say at Daniel is pay attention to socialization and mood. If a child suddenly starts to isolate or not want to be involved in the activities that they used to enjoy, those are also red flags that something might be happening.
What about neglect? Because that is tough too. It's hard to, when you see a child, is it difficult to kind of see if they're being neglected? Is there something that we could all pay attention more closely to?
Yeah, that's the trickiest one. And we see it a lot with caregivers and parents that are struggling with substance abuse. That's where we see the most cases of neglect. So again, watching behavior, I think, is the biggest thing. And if you're unsure, providing a space that's safe for that child to open up and have conversations with them. And the key is really letting them know that this is not their fault and that you're there for, help and support of not only the child but the family.
Right, because, there are people who just don't necessarily just have enough food to put on the table for their child and for their family. That doesn't mean that they are neglecting their child. They're doing the best that they can. But that said, drug and alcohol, abuse, for example, that would be another reason that there could be, a reason to remove a child from a home.
Absolutely. I mean, parenting any child is tough,
It is.
especially in these days, and added stressors make it even more challenging. And at Daniel, we have wonderful family preservation programs that help families with support and services so that the ultimate goal is to keep that family intact if possible, so that the children don't have to be removed.
Yeah, it's funny, because for those who are maybe new to the area, I mean, we've known Daniel for years, obviously. I want to explain a little bit about what Daniel does in just a minute. But if somebody who's hearing now and is listening to this and thinking about that neighborhood child that they see, and sometimes they'll go days and not see them, and they've worried about their safety, I mean, what should they do? Because I think that sometimes we're also in an age where people feel like, I just need to stay in my lane and mind my own business. I don't want to cause something that caused friction for me in my neighborhood. What advice do you have for them? What steps should they take?
Yeah, it's tough. The people that are more apt to make abuse reports are going to be the people that are in the child's life the most, such as teachers, athletic coaches, church group leaders. So they're the ones that are making reports of abuse the most. But if you do have concerns that there is abuse happening, one of the things to do is to make a report to the Florida Abuse Hotline, and that number is 1-800-96-ABUSE. And the hotline reporters are very well trained and know what the next steps are. And really the goal is to support the family to stay intact.
And would you remind us also for our viewers, Daniel, that the services that they provide?
Yeah, Daniel's the oldest child serving agency in Florida. This year we're celebrating 140 years in the community. So in those 140 years, we've been serving children of abuse and trauma and high-risk youth. We have several different programs, a wide array of services. I think we're most known for our residential treatment facility, and we serve kids 5 to 17 with the highest level of emotional and behavioral challenges related to the abuse and trauma that they've experienced. We also have a therapeutic foster care program here in Duval County. So if someone's looking to get involved and really make an impact in a a child that's been abused and traumatized, this is a great way to get involved.
And how can they find out more, our viewers find out more about Daniel?
Just go to our website, danielkids.org. Listing of all of our programs is there and contact information.
Jamie, thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so
very
much.